All right. So, as this is going to be a first session, I will be, will be talking about setting up Java, setting up JDK, then setting up Eclipse, okay, and get started with Selenium automation. Maybe we can see some basic automation code. Also, I will just give you a high level idea about Selenium IDE. But guys, remember Selenium IDE is not important, so I will be only spending few minutes. You may not be able to understand it completely, but just I wanted to show you Selenium IDE UI. That's the reason I will just show you Selenium IDE. We won't be going in depth for Selenium IDE, so make a note of that, please. Prashant, you don't need to start screen recording. Okay. Savita, I think I already shared that link on group, but still I'm sharing it here. Just use that link to join. Savita, are you online? Uh, looks like somebody is not on mute. Okay, I think that was Sunil, maybe. All right, so Prashant, there is guys, there is an issue with your speaker. If that is the case, you should have already prepared for it. That was the reason. Yesterday I conducted, a little bit, little short discussion. All right, guys. If you are having, see, everybody is able to hear on a go to meeting. If you are not, please check your speaker. And if I'm not replying on a group, maybe somebody is having an issue. Please feel free to reply to that person. Try to help everybody in the group. Okay. Sometimes I might be busy with some other thing. All right. So let's start. Uh, the topics for today are setting up JDK. Okay. Second is setting up Eclipse. Third is first hello word program. Fourth is going to be first Selenium program. And let's see how much we can cover. Yeah, and I also wanted to show you before that first program, I wanted to show you Selenium IDE. I'm sure that most of you already know Selenium IDE. I won't be spending much time on that. And this is going to be a topic. I will also try to cover the other topics if time permits. So let's do it. Okay, the very first thing is installing a JDK. I'm sure most of you have done uh, setup, but just let me tell you, how to install JDK. All right, so this is the JDK download page. Guys, am I not audible? Please reply if I am audible. Okay, not sure why some people are facing problem like Surbhi, Prashant. So, I'm assuming they have some speaker issue or they have some issue with their machine. They haven't tested it before. Uh, yeah, it might be because of their network. We at least need 2 Mbps, minimum 2 Mbps speed. Thanks, Aniruddha, for helping them. All right, okay, let me continue. So, this is the page where you can actually download a JDK. Guys, always remember you will see two JDKs here. The first table is for the 64-bit JDK. The next table you see is for 32-bit JDK. Sorry, my bad. Whatever you see something x64 is actually a 64-bit JDK. So let's say if you are using a Windows 32-bit, you should be downloading the Windows x86 JDK, that is i586 exe. If you are using a 64-bit, this is what mostly people use, 64-bit machine. They should be using this JDK. All right. Uh, so before downloading a JDK, you should know is your Windows is 64-bit or 32-bit JDK. Guys, if anyone else who's not using Windows, let's say if you are using a Linux or a Mac, please do let me know on a Skype group so I can guide you accordingly. So if you are using a Mac, there is only one version available, that is 64-bit only, and you can download it DMG file here and install it. If you're using a Linux, you can go with any option. There is a RPM option. RPM is for that mostly Red Hat Linux. TarGZ is for those machine like Ubuntu based machines can download a TarGZ machine GZ file. So this is how you can download a JDK. Once you are done with the downloading, please install just by using the double click, and it will show you a wizard. And after installing, see check that JDK folder is created under C colon program files / Java. So check that JDK folder is created. You might see GRE folder, but for now you can just ignore it. So what you have to do is just copy this path. Okay, I'm just copying that path, a path to that JDK folder, a complete path including that JDK folder. Go to the environment variable. Environment variable you can open just by right clicking on a computer, properties, say advanced system setting, then environment variable. Okay, then I'm just going to the system variable. There are two sections, user variable and system variable. So I'm going to system variable. There you should be able to see path. Okay, just say edit. Guys, do not delete this existing value. Whatever is there, this is system path. If you are disturbing or doing something wrong in the system path, that means you are affecting your operating system. So do not delete anything. Just go to the end, add semicolon, paste the path, and in the ending add bin/bin. So this is what you need to add in the ending, not beginning. Sorry. So the complete path you are saying something like this, semicolon, and the path that we pasted /bin. I have already added it, so I'm not going to save it. But in your case, you will have to do it. That is one, editing a path. And then you need to create a new variable, say new java underscore home, and paste the path that we copied. This is second step that you need to do. Okay, so I will not say okay because I already have Java home added here with the same path. So let me cancel it. Once you do that, open command prompt, just say java hyphen version to confirm whether everything is set up properly. So I can see a Java 1.8.060 update available. So this confirms that Java setup is done. Once it is done, let's move on to Eclipse. So, okay, let's move on to Eclipse. For downloading a Eclipse, let me tell you where you can get a download. See, I'm going to Eclipse download. And there you see a link, Eclipse IDE for Java EE developer. So this is like little bit heavyweight, you know, there is a lightweight option also you can go with, like Eclipse IDE for Java developers or Eclipse IDE for testers. I don't see it here, but I would suggest to go with this option for Java EE developer. It is approximately 328 MB size. Okay, this will be downloaded as a zip file. Okay, make sure again you are downloading it right version for your operating system. If you are using 32-bit OS, please use 32-bit JDK and 32-bit Eclipse. If you are using 64-bit operating system, please use 64-bit JDK and 64-bit Eclipse, else it gives a problem. And it is very hard to find out what is exactly a problem if that is the case, because 32-bit JDK works on 64-bit, but it will give you some problem, but you won't be able to figure out why is the problem. Thanks Anivruddha Vaishali for helping Prashant. Okay, the variable value for Java home was the path, so I will just show you this value. So this is the value for variable home. I already showed you on screen. Guys, some of you might be trying all the steps that I am showing you, but I would suggest please not to try immediately, because right now I want your focus, I want your 100% attention on the things that I am showing to you. Okay, if you divert in between somewhere, then it will become difficult to catch up the line and start it again. So I will be sharing this video recording. If you want, please go through that after this session, and then you can try to set up everything. But at this moment, please do not try anything, because you will lose your attention from what I'm telling you. All right, so once you download an Eclipse, so Eclipse is basically a zip file you will get. You will not be seeing an installer for Eclipse. Extract that zip file. I already did. I'm not sure where I kept that. Let me find out. Let me find out where is my Eclipse. The simplest way is to go to Task Manager. See Eclipse process running. Okay, it is here. Just right click and say open file location. So it will automatically open that folder where I already extracted Eclipse. So once you download a Eclipse, you will be seeing something like, you know, this zip file. Okay, extract that zip file, and after extracting, you should be launching eclipse.exe. Okay, so if you have set java underscore home correctly, then Eclipse should get launched. So this is how that Eclipse will look like in the first launch. All right, so we don't need this welcome screen, so you can close it because it hides so many things from Eclipse. So I just closed a welcome screen. Yes, Parag, Eclipse IDE for Java developer is fine. All right, so this is the Eclipse screen you will be able to see after closing that welcome window. So far we covered how to install JDK, how to set up Java home, how to set up path. Next thing we learn is how to set up Eclipse. Let's get started with the first Hello World program. You know, I'm assuming some of you don't know anything, or they haven't tried a single Java program yet. So for them, I'm just telling you how to create a new Java program in Eclipse. So how to use Eclipse? The simple way is File, New, There go to project, file new project, because you need a project, right, for creating your program. So in the wizard you can actually select a Java project. There are many options, but create Java project. Once we learn Maven, we will also, we will be actually using Maven project, not just a Java project. But right now we are just getting started with the Selenium, so maybe for this week we will use a Java project, and from next week maybe we will be using Maven. Okay, the project name you can give anything. I generally recommend giving a date, so you guys will have that source code date wise, so 8 August 8 August 2017, and the topic name is first Java program. Guys, I won't be spending much time on a Java, so all right, it will ask you to switch perspective. Yeah, I wanted to associate perspective. Okay, Shruti asked me a question. Shruti, you can ask me questions on a group because I'm actually looking to group only. So Shruti asked me question that Selenium testing is only possible with Java. The answer is no. You can use Selenium with C Sharp, Java, C Sharp, JavaScript, Python, Ruby. Uh, there are many programming languages which are used with Selenium. But you know, right? I mean, every open source language combination is used with uh, Java or any other open source language. So like Java and Selenium combination is very much popular and everybody recommends that. Second most popular combination is Java C Sharp, but it is mostly for those people who are using a .NET and Microsoft technologies. And third most popular Java combination is Python. But in India, there are only few people who are working into Python. All right, so this is the yes, Vijay. Yes, the added advantage is you get more help into Java over a .NET. So no, no, feature wise it's completely same. Feature wise it's completely same. There is no much difference. Okay, thanks. So see, this is the project created. By default, it will have SRC and JRE system library. So in SRC, I'm just adding a class file, right click new class, because Java is a purely object oriented programming. You should have a class to run your code. So I'm adding a class. Let's give that class name as something, I'm giving class name as main class. You can give any name to your class. The class name, this is the standard way of giving a name of a class. Every word, first character from each word will be in caps. That is the naming convention. So we need a main method. Main method is a starting point or entry point for any program. So I will be adding a main method. The simplest way to add a main method is just say ma control space enter. So this is a feature given by Eclipse. So if you are using Eclipse, you will be getting such shortcuts, more handy way of writing a code. Okay, ask Prashant to switch laptop if he can, or else he might have to, you know. Aditya, can you please put yourself on mute? Okay. So public static void main. This is the main method. It's an entry point for any Java program. So this is just a hello world program, right? So I'm just writing sys o control space enter. So that will automatically generate a line system dot println. There I'm writing hi there, welcome to Selenium learning. Okay, so it's the simplest program, it is just hello world program that we have. To run this code, there are two options. You can click on this play button, run button, or just right click on the class, run as Java application. So you can choose any of those options. All right, there you can see the outcome. So hi there, welcome to Selenium Learning. So this is the simplest program for Java. I hope you guys will do more practice on this. For example, those who don't know how to declare a variable, int the variable name, let's say no1 equal to some value. Okay, let's say there is another data type float. F is equal to some value, let's say 2.35. This line will give you error, float f equal to 3.25, because in Java for float values you should write f at the end in the value. For float, this is for float only. For double you don't need to. So for double, d is equal to, you can write something dot some value. So this is the double value, but if you want to indicate this is float, you should writing f. This is only applicable in Java, not in C++. Now I can write a code that, or let's do addition int. Okay, that, let's say if I'm adding integer plus float, answer will be what, guys? If I'm adding integer plus float, answer will be integer.
Answer will be depend on the return type of the result variable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I'm adding integer plus float, what will be the outcome? Will it be integer or float? Float. Okay, great. Vijay, can you please put yourself on mute? I am able to hear lots of noise. Thank you. Okay, so if you want to, quickly answer or ask a question, you can use a Skype chat anytime. So let me do addition. So addition will be float, right? So float addition is equal to no1 plus f. So this is how we will be using the operators, and I will print that saying addition is this is first string. To that string I will concatenate. If you are using plus on a string, that means you are concatenating. So I'm just saying addition is addition, so the value of that variable will be printed here. All right, uh, so this was just a simple example, addition program. uh, See, if I run it, it will ask me to save a code. So I'm saying always save resource before launching. So I will just say okay. The addition is 13.25, which is actually right. 10 dot 10 plus 3.25 is 13.25. Okay, so that was another example. All right, okay, let me tell you, you can also create a methods, right? So let's say I am creating a method. So main is a one method. In the same class, I'm creating another method. So let's say public void say hi, and there I am writing some code. Let's say syso control space enter hi. I'm just printing hi. Okay, and this method has to be called, else the outcome, else it is not going to print say hi. So at the end I'm just calling say hi method, but the problem is this is a static method, and this call is for a non-static. So as this is a static method, both the methods should be static. Okay, see, static non-static is something related with the Java. um, Say hi. Let's run it. All right, so it's saying hi at the end. So this was the first program in Java. So we are done with this. Okay, I hope you guys will, let's say if this is the first time you are learning Java, please do some practice on Java. For example, writing program for pattern printing, Lloyd's triangle, uh, Fibonacci series, program for prime number, program for counting how many even and odd numbers are present, program for counting how many prime numbers are present, program for checking is that given number is a palindrome or not, program for checking that given number is an Armstrong number or not. So please try this program, because these are like common interview questions which are asked in most of the companies. So if you're new to Java, please do some practice on these programs. All right. Guys, see, we only have 3 weeks duration for this complete course, and this course is from basic Selenium to the very advanced part of the Selenium. And then at the end, we will be also learning mobile automation, that is, more advanced. So it is not possible for me to cover a Java, but I will try to keep things very simple. I will be teaching Selenium in the simplest way I can without going into very complex or difficult concepts of a Java. So if you are new to learning Java, don't worry. I will be, teaching you in a simplest way. And guys, if you already know Java, then it is going to help you, to understand what I'm saying. All right, so next part is checking Selenium IDE. Okay, could you tell us the difference between Java 1.7 and 1.8? There are many differences. Mostly these differences are related with the generics and templates. But few differences are like you can use a switch case into your, you can use a string into your switch case. That is one. Other difference is you can use underscores into your the number. Uh, there are many. I would recommend you to please go and research on that. Can you please send us program list so that we will do practice for the same? Yes, Parag, I can send you. But you know what? The best option to learn Java or to become expert into Java is go with the Tech Gig. So Tech Gig is a website, and they have different skill sets, practice sets. Okay, so you can also go for any option, let's say 30 days challenge or some algorithm practice. You can use any option. Java option should also be there, but I think it is there in algorithm. Let me find it out. About mathematics, Ruby, C++, SQL, there is somewhere Java. Oh yeah, Java tutorial is also there. And you know yeah, Java tutorial. So just go here, and it has lots of questions. Okay, lots of questions. You can also solve this all these problems here only. So this is the best way to excel your Java skills. But if you are just beginning with the Java, let's say if you wanted to start learning Java, then please go and use tutorials point. How much Java knowledge is necessary to start Selenium? uh, Personally, I think zero knowledge of Java is required for Selenium. Guys, hold on, I need to attend this call. Okay, so tutorials points is a good place to start. Thanks Aniruddha for sharing the video tutorial. The new Boston. Okay. If you want a video tutorial, I would suggest to go with Durgasoft. So he is the guy who actually conducts training for the Java developers, but it is very nice and extensively covering most of the topic. So Durgasoft Java tutorial, it is on YouTube. So just go here and find out a playlist. He has a huge playlist which is covering Java from basics till the advanced. Oops. Okay. You can Google it. Durgasoft is one. Other is you can also refer GC Reddy's Java tutorial. Those are also good. All right. Let's come back to the topic. Yeah, I know. I know. You have to bear that English. Okay, fine. So let's come back to the topic. I was talking about Selenium IDE. So Selenium IDE is a GUI based application. It has a UI, whereas WebDriver do not have UI. WebDriver is just a API. It is not having any GUI. Selenium is not something like you can download and install and double click on a desktop icon, then it will launch the Selenium. So this is so many people having a perception which is actually wrong. So Selenium is just an API. We add that API into our project and we continue using those classes. So Selenium IDE, this is a lightweight GUI application. It's a lightweight GUI application. When I say lightweight, actually it's an add-on. Okay, add-on to Firefox. Okay, so if you have a Firefox, this will only work in a Firefox. Selenium IDE will only work in a Firefox. If you have a Firefox, just open Firefox, go to the Selenium's official website. The Selenium's official website is seleniumhq.org. This is the official website for a Selenium. Open seleniumhq.org. Click on the download. Selenium IDE is not available for Chrome, but you can automate a Chrome using Selenium. Okay, so click on download and then just scroll little bit. There you should be able to see Selenium IDE heading. So just below that, click from addons.mozilla.org. Okay, there you will get the latest version of a Selenium. If you want to download previous, you can go here. So okay, I can see then option add to Firefox. Let me check if I already have that option or not. Saying Alt T, and I can see already option Selenium IDE is already there in the tools menu. So if you don't see a tools menu, just say Alt T into your Firefox. Alt T will open that hidden menu, at the top. So just click on Selenium IDE. I already have added it, so not adding it again. And this is the UI for Selenium IDE. All right, let me minimize everything. All right, so this is the UI for Selenium IDE. This runs under Firefox. That is the reason you can see this Firefox logo here. It has some options, base URL, that means on which URL you wanted to test. To the left hand side you see a test suite, and to the right hand side you see a table with command target value. There is a question from Shruti. This is only UI for Selenium, right? Yes, Shruti, this is the only UI for Selenium. There is no any other UI for Selenium. Selenium WebDriver is an API, it is not having any UI. So this is the place where you can actually create a test cases. uh, the list of test cases is considered as a test suite. To the bottom side, you see log, references, UI element, and roll up thing. So I will just tell you the simplest feature, the very simplest feature of the Selenium IDE is the record and playback. So right now, as you can see, the current mode, as soon as you launch Selenium IDE, by default, it will be in a record mode. Okay. So now recording, click to stop recording, but I don't want to stop recording. I just want to continue with recording. So let's move on this window to one side. This is my Firefox. I will keep both windows side by side so that you can see what is happening. Okay. So into Firefox, let's say I'm searching for Vikas Tangi. Okay. And just hitting enter. So to the right hand side, you see, base URL is google.co.in. It is automatically set. Open. So after google.co.in, open this URI part. Okay, this is URI, this is URL. So both are concatenated and open into browser. Once it is done, then type what to type, Vikas Tange, and where to type. The target is ID is equal to LBS ID. So this is a place, this is actually a target where to type, and this is the action, which action you wanted to perform. So I just typed Vikas Tange into this text box, and it is showing few options. That's one link is from Urban Pro, one link, this is my blog. I also have an account on a slide share, so yeah, it is showing me that. That's my LinkedIn account. I have a Facebook account as well. So let's say I'm clicking on that link and opening that link. So, oops, my bad. Actually, I just clicked here and then recorded. So this step, moved here. So I should have that step as the next step. All right, I will do that adjustment after recording. So this is my Facebook page. Uh, let's say I wanted to add a checkpoint, verifying that URL is right or wrong. So just right clicking on page, show all available commands. So these are all Selenium commands. So I'm adding assert verify, and assert text is there, assert title is there, assert location. I don't see assert location there, but I can definitely type it. So assert verify, assert title. Title is for checking the title of my browser. So verify title, assert title, both are almost same. Verify title and assert title, both are almost same. Only the difference is if you are using assert, and if assert fails, it will stop your test case execution. Whereas if you are using verify, verify fails, if verify fails, it will not start your test execution. It will still continue your test case execution till the end, and at the end it will mark the test case as a fail. Alright, so I'm using assert title. See that assert title is added here. The title expected is this. Let me close all this window. I will move the steps in a proper order. Oh, before that, just stop recording. So the click has to happen after typing Vikas. So looks like it is not getting moved. So okay, no problem. I will just delete the script and I will create a new script. Fine. So I'm just deleting all these steps. This time I will choose something different application. So starting a record.
Lucas,
Yes.
so I think you can reshuffle those order in the source tab.
Source will show you HTML. Even there was an option where you can actually switch.
Okay, but in the source also in HTML you can switch those rows, no? Table, tab,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
table.
right, absolutely right. But there are more chances to do mistake in a source, because there is lots of HTML coding is there, and if you are missing, let's say, simple quote, or maybe just a single greater than sign is missing, then your test case is broken. Okay, so be careful while editing into source. Guys, I'm again repeating the same line. Selenium IDE is not important. I'm just showing you Selenium IDE because you just need to have a basic idea what is Selenium IDE. That is the reason, that is the purpose I'm telling you Selenium IDE. Nobody records a test case, nobody plays a test case, nobody uses Selenium IDE. Okay, so but still I'm just showing you for, and I will be quickly covering up that within 10 or 15 minutes. I won't be spending much time on Selenium IDE. Nobody uses that, that's a fact. So let's say this is the application I wanted to test. I'm into just confirming I'm into a record mode, and now clicking on sign in. So as you can see, first open this URL, that means the base URL plus slash, then click and wait on this link. The next username you have to type is jsmith, password is demo1234. So as you can see that username password is typed. Now it is time to click on a login button. So see, click and wait is automatically added to the Selenium IDE. You can just ignore that, save or don't save, doesn't matter. Alright, see the login is done. Now I see hello John Smith. Let's right click on hello John Smith, show all available command, and there I wanted to have some checkpoints. So one checkpoint you can add is asset title. Asset titles means verifying the browser title. So let's verify browser title, that is one checkpoint. Other checkpoint is I want to add is verify title. It is the same as asset title. I don't want to add it again. There is another checkpoint you can add is asset text. That means verifying that h1 tag, this h1 tag is having hello John Smith as the heading. Okay, so asset title, this is the expected title. Asset text, so expected text is hello John Smith, and where it should be there at the h1 tag. So if you look into the more detail of this, you can see this is actually an h1 tag. So we are just verifying the text of that tag is hello John Smith. So if you just wanted to confirm that one step, just double click on that one step. It is highlighted in a green. Green, it means yeah, it is working. So for example, see asset title, right now it is working because the current title and this value is matching. Say double click, just double click. So it will run that one step against your existing open page. Now what I will do is, let me run this whole test case. Before that I will sign off. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, let me run this test case. To run this test case, just click on here. So the yellow line is getting executed, as you can see, and the green line says that it is passed. Guys, just ignore this pop-up. Let's say I don't want to, never save. So you see the test case is passed, but the test case execution happened very fast. Let me run it again. Oh, this time it won't be running because I was already into sign in mode, and then I clicked on sign in, so it just did sign off. That way. So I will run the test again. See home screen, login page, JSmith, demo1234, and verifying the page title as well as hello John Smith is displayed or not. But that execution is very fast. You can actually reduce the execution speed by this navigation bar. You see a sig bar here, right? So just move it to slow and run that test. Oh my bad, I should have clicked on sign off first. Oops, okay, let me run the test case again because it was already in sign in mode. Alright, so jsmith is typed, password is typed. Now it is time for clicking on that button. It is done. Verifying title, verifying the text, and execution is done. So this was a recording, but you can also add optionally. Let's say I wanted to have a something. Let's say I wanted to have assert. Assert is means the verification. Assert all buttons. I get all the options with the assert, which are starting with assert. So asset body text, asset checked. Let's say I wanted to check whether that checkbox is tick or not. So asset checked, asset confirmation not present. This is for that confirmation box. We get a pop-up, right, saying yes, no, cancel button. So that is actually a confirmation box. So if I wanted to check whether that confirmation box is displayed or not, we use this asset confirmation. Asset confirmation not present, asset confirmation present, asset cookies if you want to check the cookie and its value. There are lots of options. Asset editable, let's say there is a text box which is editable or not. Asset element index, verifying that element index number is some specific index number. Asset element not present, asset element present, uh, asset position, asset element position left. There are so many, but we, as I said, nobody uses Selenium IDE, but it is a very lightweight utility with so many options. Okay, the best feature I like from Selenium IDE is exporting this test case. Okay, let me remove that step. The best feature of Selenium IDE is exporting a test case. So Selenium IDE gives option to export this test case into different programming language with a different testing tool, unit testing tool. So for example, we will be learning Java with TestNG WebDriver combination. Java, TestNG WebDriver, this combination. This is the mostly used, widely used combination with the Selenium. So let me export a test case. I will just save it for now. So altero login test. Okay, I just saved it on desktop. So you see this file altero mutual.login test, and it is saved as a Java. So if I open it, you should be able to see some Java code. Let me open it with Notepad++. It has a better formatting. So this is the code. Okay, uh, it has a few things at the rate test, at the rate before test, and there are some methods. We will be learning all of this. Okay, but this code is automatically generated by Selenium IDE. Guys, if, again I am repeating the same line, nobody uses Selenium IDE, and this script, nobody also export the script also. Okay, what we will be doing is we will be going with the expert path. Okay, we all are expert, right? So we'll be going with the expert path, and in expert path we actually write this code, each code line by line. Okay, so the script is not very much difficult. As you can see, first get means open the URL, find the element and perform click on that login link. Then in the UDID clear if there is some value. Then in UDID type JSmith. In password clear the value. In password type demo1234. Then click on button submit. So these are the options. And asset equal is for verifying the title of the browser is Altero Mutual Online Banking Home or not. So this is the script, but we won't be exporting that script into Selenium IDE. Okay, let me repeat that sentence again. We will be like more expert into Selenium, so we will write all that script by without any script generation tool. So if you want to save this test case, you can actually save this test case. Just say save test case. By default, it will be saved as test case 1. Can you see that file saved here, test case 1.htm? I will just move it here. You can open that file with a Notepad++. So every test case into Selenium IDE is actually an HTML table. So you see a HTML table tag. Okay, and this is table row, table data, table row, table data, table row, table data. So every row is having 3 columns, that is command, target and value. Command, target, value. This is the syntax. If you want to edit this HTML, you can definitely do it. I will just open that HTML into browser because it's a HTML page, and you see the first row is telling you the name of test case, then command, target and value. So this is the syntax for the HTML test case. The test case which is there in the Selenium IDE, those are HTML, but you can obviously export into Java or any other programming language also. Alright, so this was a one test case. You can also create a new test case, or you can create a new test suite, but I'm not going to do that, just to save time. So this button is for running all the entire test suite. This button is for running the current test case. This button is for debugging purpose, or this too. This is for repeating, if you wanted to execute something again and again, you can use this one. This is roll up rule. This is record button. This is scheduler. Let's say if you wanted to schedule a test case, then you can go with this option. And there is nothing much. The references is important. Let's say this is type. Okay, I'm clicking on type. The references tab will tell you how to use a type. So type has two arguments. First argument is locator, that means target, and second argument is a parameter, that is what value you wanted to type. So that is demo 1234 in my case. So you can read about it, you can get more information. The log is, this is for logging the test case. It will tell me what it is doing. So test case fail, playing the test case, untitled, because the title was untitled, opening URL, clicking and waiting on this target, type username as jsmith, type password as demo1234, click and wait on button submit, assert title, and assert hello John Smith text is there, and finally the test case got passed. So this is just a log. And yeah, I think that is pretty much all of it. We covered almost all important features from Selenium IDE. There is an option you can actually go and modify the existing keyword, or you can add your own keyword here, own command here. It requires JavaScript programming knowledge, but as I said, we are not going to focus on Selenium IDE. So this is it from Selenium IDE. Let's move on to the next program. Next topic is first Selenium program. Okay, so for that we will require that Selenium jar file to be downloaded. Guys, let me know if you have any questions so far. I'm here to answer your queries. Okay, yeah guys, please let me know any questions.
Hello, Vikas.
Yeah,
Selenium ID works with only Firefox, right?
yes, it works with only with Firefox, but the script that you recorded you can export into Java or any programming language, and then you can run that automation script on any other browser also with some little modifications. But Selenium IDE is only available for Firefox.
Okay.
Selenium IDE is directly decrypting password in text. So, like if you have used QTP, Rahul, QTP records that password as MD5 encryption string. But in Selenium, it doesn't have the encryption and decryption feature. So Selenium just record that password as a plain text. Uh, there is a question from Savita. Selenium IDE is only used for test the URL. Uh, okay, you mean to say that Selenium is only for website testing? Am I right? Is this is your question? If this is your question, then yes, Selenium is only used for testing a website, not for testing any desktop application or testing any API kind of thing. It is only for testing a website. Whereas any other tool like QTP or Ranorex or there are some other tools also. Let's say coded UI. These are the tools which help us to automate the desktop application as well. But Selenium is only supporting mobile native application, web application, and with some other third-party drivers, it also supports desktop automation. So Windows 2010 onwards automation is possible with Selenium, but it requires Windows 2010. You can also automate the older Windows applications using Selenium driver, but it is a third-party driver. Prashant, you must be having issue with your network. I hope I answered your queries. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on Skype group. Let's move on to the next topic, that is first Selenium program. Okay, let me close Selenium IDE. I don't need that anymore. Okay, you must be having some other issue, Prashant, then. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, that is the first Selenium automation program. We still have 20 minutes remaining, so which is more than enough. So seleniumhq.org/download. Okay, as I said, we need the jar file, so Selenium 3.4.0. So if I click on this, it will start downloading the jar file. Okay, so the memory size is 20.8 MB. Okay, it is downloaded. I will just say keep show in folder. So this is the jar file I downloaded. Okay, I generally keep all jar files into one common folder. Okay, I keep all the jar files here. Okay, so I have older jar files as well. All right, let's go to Eclipse now. I'm creating a new project for Selenium. File, file, new, Java project. If you can see Java project, else just say other and then click on Java project. Okay, click on Java project. Say next. Give some project name, let's say 8 August 2017, first Selenium program. Okay, there is a question from Poonam, which version we will be learning, which version of Selenium we will learn. So we will be learning the latest version of a Selenium. At this moment, Selenium 3.4 is the latest version, but let's say if tomorrow 3.5 is released, we will continue learning 3.5. We will continue using 3.5. So always try to stick with the latest Selenium, because if you go with the older version of a Selenium, it may not support your browser. For example, if you want to automate Firefox 48 onwards, okay, let's say you wanted to automate Firefox 49 or 50, then you should be using Selenium 3. Selenium 2 will not be helping you. So the same case is with Chrome or any other browser. You should know the compatibility, version compatibility also. All right, so this is the project I created 8th August 2017 for Selenium program. I don't need this project anymore, so I will just close it. Right click, close project. So this will improve your performance. If you unnecessarily keep running or open so many projects. There is a question from Poonam, why we need Selenium Server standalone library. I will cover that quickly. Okay, so this is the project, right? Now what I will do is, I'm creating a class because we need a class, right? I will give that class name as a main class. This is the naming convention. Every first character of each word of a class will be in caps. This is standard naming convention for a class. I'm writing a main method, main control space enter. Okay, so there I can actually write a code. So let's say I'm writing system.println starting automation. Okay, let's print something. Now I wanted to use some classes and interfaces from the Selenium jar file. Okay, I wanted to use Selenium API, Selenium WebDriver. So for that, you need to link that jar file which we downloaded to the project. So that linking can be done in many ways. I will be telling you the simplest way. So this is my project. Go to the project properties, that right click on project and last option, properties. That's the last option. Then click on Java build path. Once you do click, go to library, and there you see option add jars. So this jar file is something, it is like I will be adding or associating that jar file to my project so that I can actually call the methods, I can actually use the classes which are coming into that jar file. So I will say add jar, but this option is for adding a jar file from the current project or from any other project. Another option is add external jar. I saved my jar file on softwares and Selenium folder, so I will be using this option. Okay, so I saved my jar file on F drive software Selenium. So from there, just pick up that latest jar file that I saved just now. Okay, this is the jar file. I will just say open. Selenium server standalone 3.4.0, that's a jar file added. I will say apply, and I'm just saying okay. Fine. So once it is done, in the reference jar file, you should be able to see that jar file reference. Okay, there is a question from Rahul. Means for each new project we need to add jar. Yes, Rahul, for every project you create, if you want to use Selenium, you should be adding a jar file. But practically speaking, see, one person is working on one project, most of the time, or maybe he is working on two projects at the same time. It is not practical that he is switching project every day, he is creating a new project every day. This is not the case. uh, there is I'm able to hear some noise. Can you guys please put yourself on mute? Okay, I put everybody on mute. I think that was Sunil. So I hope I answered your query, Rahul. So for every project you create, you need to add a jar file. But while learning Selenium, we will be creating project every day, many projects every day. But in real life, in projects, you will be only having one project, and you don't create a new project every day in office. Looks like Akshada is having some question. Okay, I hope this is clear. So adding a jar file, this is the way we add a jar file to Java build path. And once it is done, okay, Rahul. As Rahul mentioned that there may be a global setting, so adding the jar file into one place and using it. Yes, Rahul, you are actually right. There you can do that, but that is not recommended. Okay, which Firefox version supports jar file 3? I think the question should be uh, Selenium 3 supports which version of a Firefox? That way the question should be. So Selenium 3 supports Firefox 48 and 49. So that is Selenium 3.0, but I am using 3.4, and 3.4 supports Firefox 53, I guess Firefox 54 as well. I'm not 100% sure. I will need to check my current version of Firefox. So current version is 54, and which is actually supported by Selenium 3.4. So I will continue using that. Okay, so to automate a Firefox browser, we need Gecko driver. Okay, Gecko driver.exe is needed. So Gecko driver, it is a native driver developed from the Mozilla community. It is the same community who developed for Firefox. They have given a Gecko driver, and that Gecko driver is has to be downloaded on your machine. So on the downloads page, if you scroll a little bit here, third-party drivers, the first option you see is Mozilla Gecko driver. The latest version is 0.18. That's the latest version of Gecko driver. Just click on that version number. You see 0.18. It was released 28 days ago. And if you want to download it, you can use any of these options. So I'm using 64-bit Windows with 64-bit Firefox, 64-bit JDK, 64-bit Eclipse. So I will use this option, Gecko driver version 0.18.0. Okay, it's downloaded. Once it is downloaded, just extract it anywhere. Okay, I'm using WinRAR. So just extract that zip file anywhere and save it somewhere. I think I have a drivers folder somewhere, so it is on E drive. Yeah, on E drive I kept a folder drivers, and there I'm just replacing that old driver with a newer one. So as you can see, Gecko driver.exe. The same way you might need a Chrome driver for automating a Chrome browser. So that Chrome driver, you can download it again from the Selenium website. See Google Chrome driver 2.13. Just click on here, and you should be able to download the Chrome driver. Remember, guys, Chrome driver 64-bit is not available. It is only Windows 32, and which works actually, which works for 64-bit also. So Google Chrome, if you are using Windows, use this Windows 32-bit Chrome driver. Download it, save it to some location. For example, in my case, I saved it on E drive, then drivers. So Chrome driver.exe, Gecko driver.exe, I have both the drivers. Now go to the Selenium Eclipse. The first thing is loading the driver or mentioning where is my driver. So the line of code is system dot set property. Second option, not properties. I'm talking about set property. It requires two parameter. The first parameter is WebDriver dot Gecko dot driver. This is something constant. If you want to use Gecko driver, you have to give this fixed string as the name of a property, and the value has to be the path where you have saved your driver. So in my case, the driver is present on, this is the complete path. Okay, I just copied that path. Okay, so system.set property, and the property name is this is the value of property. But guys, always remember, backward slash in a string means something. For example, /n is a new line, /t is a tab, that way. So if you want a normal slash, then just write double backward slash. So it becomes a normal slash, So you can see that error is now gone. Okay, there is question from Shruti, what would these drivers do? So drivers plays very important role. So in short, I will just tell you in a short, see, WebDriver is what API. Okay, the reference is added to our Java project. Okay, so this is how we have done. But to automate actual website, what we do is, our Java project communicates with the WebDriver. using API. It's a API, right? API means what? Application programming interface, and API means actually the set of protocol, set of rules for communication. So using WebDriver API, it communicates with a Gecko driver. So Gecko driver, it's a program that actually controls your browser. Okay, this is controls. So this is how the relation is. So our project communicates with the Gecko driver using WebDriver API, and Gecko driver is responsible for controlling the browser action. I hope it is clear now. So every driver, it will actually control the browser, and Gecko driver, yes, Gecko driver is compulsory from Firefox 3 onwards. But if you are using, Gecko driver is compulsory for Selenium 3 onwards. But if you are using Selenium 2, let's say till Selenium 2.53.1 version, 2.53, you don't need to use Gecko driver. Okay, Gecko driver is only introduced in Selenium 3, not in Selenium 2. So if you are using Selenium 2, you don't need any Gecko driver or any driver in fact for automatic Firefox. But in Selenium 3 onwards, you should be using Gecko driver. They have replaced they have changed their architecture, Selenium community. So yeah, it is mandatory from Selenium 3 onwards. Do we have something like Firefox driver? Yes, we have a class for Firefox driver. I'm just coming to that. So this is the first step. Second step is, now I'm creating object of a Firefox driver. So Firefox driver, I will just say control space and double click on here, so it will add an import statement. So Firefox driver is coming from package org selenium QA. Package is similar like a folder. So org openqa selenium and Firefox, this is the package name, and from that package Firefox driver is a class. I will just mouse over on that, okay, that's fine. So I'm creating object. So the syntax for creating object is class name, object name equal to new class name. Oops, my bad. See, so I just created object of a browser, object of a Firefox driver. So by doing this, actually this will launch Firefox driver. Okay, this line is going to launch a Firefox driver. Programmatically speaking, technically speaking, I just created object of a Firefox driver. Okay, I am assuming guys you know what is object. So object is a real-time instance of a class, and my class name is Firefox driver. So next task is open URL in browser. So for opening a URL, so driver dot get is the method which we use. So driver dot get requires a parameter. Now what parameter it is requiring? See, it is requiring a URL, and that too of type string. So it is a string, so writing in a double quote, and the URL I'm giving is http://google.com. Okay, so this should be opening a google.com web page. Or let's take example that demo.testfire. This is the website. So driver.get, this line will open a URL. Now next is let me do that action actually. See, this page is open. Now the next task I will do is I will click on online banking login. Okay, but for clicking on a login, you should this is a hyperlink, right? So there are some different locator techniques that we will be learning tomorrow. I will just use it right now. Click on online banking login link. So the very first thing is you need to find that element. So driver dot find element by dot link text. The link text is this dot click on that link. I'm just clicking. Okay, so driver dot find element. So this line will return me object of web element, and on that web element I'm calling a click method. So once click is done, let's do it manually. Once click is done, you need to set a username. Okay, so let's inspect that element with a firebug. Tomorrow I will cover a firebug and look different locators, how to use a firebug and that way. So see, this is input having id equal to uid. It is also having name. Name is uid. Okay, you can use id or a name. So I'm locating that element with driver dot find element by dot, it was having id. Yeah, so I will just add that id as uid. Okay, now this line will give me the web element. On that element I wanted to perform typing. So for typing, see, click option is there, clear if you wanted to clear some data which is already there in the text box. But for typing we use send keys j smith. J smith is what I want to type. Now it is time for typing a password. So let's inspect that element. It is having id equal to password. Copy that. So find element with id as a password, and password we need to type is demo1234. Once we are done with entering username password, the next line is click on login button. So let's inspect the login button. Login input name equal to button submit. So it has a name, right? So I will use driver dot find element, sorry, my bad, find element by dot name. There are total 8 techniques available for locating element. So I'm just saying click. So driver dot find element by name button submit, and on that button I called click method. So it will perform actually login, and after performing a login I just want to read the page URL. So page URL is, okay, so the page URL you can read it from driver object. So driver dot get current page URL. So these are some fixed method, you should remember all of this method. So driver dot get current URL, this is the method that will tell you, that will return you the current URL of your web page. So for now this is it. Let's run the code and see whether it works or not. Right click, run as Java application. Why Java application? Because this is public static void main. So starting automation, the first line is printed. Now you are seeing some lines from Gecko driver. Even though it is in red, please ignore that. It is just logging message. It takes some time to launch the browser. And once this task is executed, we will take a hard stop. See, the browser is open. I will keep Eclipse and Firefox both running side by side, so you can actually see what is happening here. Okay, see login, Selenium clicked on login, it entered username, password, and finally the page URL is the main /main espx, and the same page URL after login main.espx is open. So this is it. This is the simplest program we learn. Tomorrow we will be learning firepath, firebug, inspecting element, locating element, and some more practice on Selenium automation with the WebDriver. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me on the Skype group, or you can also ping me on personal chat. Thank you very much for attending this session. uh, Guys, we will need to take hard stop every day at 8:30. If if I miss that deadline, please keep me reminding on that. Okay, thank you very much. I will share you the video recording within next few minutes. Thank you very much. Have a great day.